back once again, another edition of Inside the Headset. It's week 11, game 10, quickly upon us. All those games will be on Thursday night. I'm on the campus of Rockville. I've got with me the head coach of the Rockville Rockets, head coach Coach Counce. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing good, sir. Thank you.
Well, I was out here Friday night, and what a great, first off, I text Steve Luker, the principal, afterwards, and we were talking about just Friday night in general, and even in the last 4 or 5 years, how Friday night has changed, how much more it is a show. It is a complete show, whether the band, the senior night, usually you've got a theme going on every night for every football contest, but at the same time, what a great night, a little bit of a chill in the air, but as far as game day operations, everything else, and the senior night and everything else, you couldn't ask for a better Friday night, could you, Coach?
No, it was great. A lot of people on campus to see the seniors and whatever extracurricular activity that they do, and it means a lot. It's a difficult night, especially for football, our football team, and how much those seniors mean to us, and those kind of things, and so it's got a little bit of different adversity added to it. But as far as everything else, everything went great. Had a big crowd and very great atmosphere at the game and that kind of stuff. So it was a good night.
Well, and with the large screen jumbotron and everything else that goes on that adds to it, it just now it's like Steve and I were texting. It just continues to get better. You can add more and more as you continue to put this show on, and festivities start a little bit earlier. Now you're starting to try to get things going at 6:25 versus we're going to go at 6:45 coin toss. There's another
right.
20, 30 minutes added to each Friday night now.
Yeah, we had to go out a little earlier.
Yeah.
Had to bump everything up. Had to be done. We tried to be done at 6:20, which we were.
Yeah.
And then you got to get lined up. So there's a little lull there from a typical Friday night that. And that's some of the things that you have to work through with these young men and their their maturity level and how they handle those situations, and I thought our guys did a great job with that. Because 22 seniors and they're announcing them now. They did have some pre-recorded stuff, which
was something new,
something with the new technology and that kind of stuff, which I think that helped, and it's just. It just adds to the evening,
Well, and football is an emotional game, and you have to be able to gauge your emotions because you have to have all your energy when it comes time for the football game, and that's what you're talking about when you're saying controlling the emotions. It's like I love to go to the track like a lot of people do, and when you see a horse that's nervous in the paddock, they're sweating a lot, they're exerting a lot of energy. You don't want that going on. You don't want to see a kid just drowning in sweat before the game kicks out because losing all of his fluids.
Right.
You want them really. It's hard to do, and different kids go through different motions, and you kind of gotta. All right, you do this way, but you've got 75, 80 kids that are going through their different game day preparations in their brain as they get ready to prepare for the 48 minutes.
That's right. Everybody's got a little different niche to what they like to do, and what gets them mentally locked in. It just goes down to the little things that happen in the game. Just like the snap that we had there at the end. That kid didn't mean to do that, and he wasn't thinking and doing that on purpose. But it's having being locked in enough to where the little things like that are so magnified. You have to be locked in, and I can't have my mind or my focus distracted with anything else. And that's a big part of, like on Fridays we try to bring the guys down here. We take a nap, and the reason we do that is because I like to get the weight of the day off their mind. I feel like that. I always felt like once I got up, whether it's 15 minutes or an hour, you take a little nap. I feel like that gets the weight of the day and clears your mind and kind of resets. And that's part of trying to get them ready to play and all that. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts that are involved in that.
Well, and also you're each and every game you're trying to teach a young man and to grow up a little bit more, take another step in growing up, not only in the game of football but in the game of life. And understanding and dealing, like you say, not only with adversity, whether it's pain, whether it's a small injury, a jammed finger, whatever the case may be, bad grade in a class, they didn't get it, they're not comprehending English or algebra, whatever the case may be. They're trying to figure out what they really want to do in life and their spot in this world, because they're still growing. And I mean, that's the biggest thing. And you guys as leaders out here, I told Dr. Jimmy Sullivan, I've told Steve Luker, they got it right. They got it right with you being hired, and we're so glad to have you, because, in this area and stuff, in Rutherford County, we want good leaders that are taking care of our kids. They put on a good program on Friday night. There's definitely, after it was all said and done, kids are hugging each other. They all know each other. They know it was a hard-fought ball game. Only one person can win, but at the same time, there was just, if anybody was here Friday night, there was so much electric and emotions heading in. As you all, like you said, you're driving down, you've got the game, now you've got your crew kind of under control. You've been a second half team. I kind of knew that in the back of my mind. I'm like, well, he kind of says they really, because even in the Tullahoma game, where did you come back in the second half?
Yep.
So I was kind of thinking, they're going to put together a drive here, and as long as they can get close, that opportunity did come. And like you say, and how many times we don't mean, we're not trying to sound like those guys on College Game Day that comes down to one play, but what did it come down to? One play.
One play, and that's going to be typical. We just wanted to have ourselves in that kind of scenario.
You got yourself in that position
and have a chance to be able to make a game out of it. We started off, got that pick, and RC scored on it.
And he's a dynamic player. When you got to have him involved, he's got to have the ball in his hands.
You got to have him out there.
You got to have him out there.
And so we jump up on them there, and then defense continued to play well, and we kind of stubbed our toe a little bit, which I think comes from having a little bit of youth on that side.
He would run the ball against you a little bit.
Right.
It's just he hit you,
right.
He was
hitting.
Punted.
When we punted there early, and RC kind of shanked a couple, which gave him good field position. So,
didn't do yourself any favors.
So we gave him good field position there too, and so to be able to come in and still be in reach, and knowing that we've been a second half team, and I thought we would. Got things worked out. The kids came over there. They're learning how to communicate. We're looking at the series before and what these guys are doing. Riverdale does a lot of stuff on defense, and they move the front, they stem the front.
Aiden Evans in the back player. You got to count for him.
Linebackers are flowing fast, and and that kind of stuff, which is that the speed of the game and that kind of stuff is 6A football, and just getting these guys to grow through the game, and then to be able to put ourselves in a scenario that, hey, we're fixing to go in right here and score and tie this thing up.
Yeah.
And looking back, that nobody thought that we might not be in this situation this early. For me coming here in just January, but our kids have done a great job. And I still say it. We played a really good game the other night, but it's still not our best game. And when I say our best game, is the potential of our kids.
Right.
So we're still making a few mistakes, which goes back to getting ready to play, getting locked in. I can't have any other distraction, because this game is so fast, and it comes down to muscle memory, repetition, and those kind of things, and we got to be ready to play. And the speed of the game's faster, and the growth that we've had allowed us to work through that, allowed us to come back last week against Tullahoma. And anyway, Riverdale did a great job. Our kids, all we want to do is be in a situation. They made one more play than we did, and we're gonna go get ready for Blackman this week.
And that's what everybody understands. You got to put this game. I ain't even got the video done yet. I'll get it done and get to you. But it's really not more about instructional or anything. It's about, we got to have a game plan that's effective, that gets us points on the board. We got to figure out how to stop Blackman, how to score against Blackman. We got two things on our mind right now. Is how to score and how to stop. And that's Blackman. That's all you're worried about. All these other games, all this other junk, people don't have any idea that it's all about one thing. The crew is in there right now in the laboratory, in the war room, trying to figure it out, working and coming up with what is a play that maybe we just put a little bit of a twist on it. We don't change it that much, but they hadn't seen it, and maybe it's a dynamic play that can get us 5, 10, 15 yards when we need it, and they hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, and things that we do, and them being a little different defensively than say Riverdale.
Yes.
Riverdale go from an odd to an even, and they kind of sit in there in this even front. With what it's a little bit different, but still, things that people do allow you to make some adjustments as you go through the season. And we made some against Riverdale. We ran some stuff that we've been working, but we hadn't ran it in a game yet. Just working for when we got to their kind of front and the way they will run it. But we'll get a game plan together and what we feel like puts our kids in the most successful situation. And we got to move the football, and we got to control the game. We got to win the special teams. It's all that kind of stuff.
And that's another thing. There's one thing you got to already account for. Boron Bozen is going to kick it in the end zone. He has all season,
right.
So he just doesn't falter on that. Experienced kicker,
right.
And if he's so far many feet in, they get the snap in the hole with Javion Elliott. That's going to be 3 points. You got to kind of already say some of these things we already know. If they get their position, we're in trouble because they will be successful in whatever they're trying to do.
I think that they're a very talented group.
Yeah.
Especially defensively, and they're big up front. Linebackers move well.
Anthony talks a lot about that. He thinks that they've got one of between some of the three defenses. And of course, you're included in that conversation too. You've got Dallas Paldo along with Melvin Boone, and then you got the bunch over there at you got Woods, and like you say, Aiden Edmonds over at Riverdale, and then you got the Oakland crew, and then you got the got the Blackman crew, and there's some guys in there.
Yeah, this is kind of off the direction in which we're talking, but there is a lot of talent in this area.
Oh God, yes, Coach. It's just spewing all over the place, and some of it thinks about it. I think some of the kids, some of the basketball players who know sometimes they look back and think, I know I'm not going to be able to play college basketball based on the system the way it is now. You got a better chance getting out here on the football field, especially if you're a skilled guy and you got hands in catching the football. Those skill sets transfer real easy. It's hard to take a football player and transfer them over to basketball, but you're correct. The talent, the speed too. Speed's always been here too. Kids that can, when you get into the track, this school, you had a shot put guy that almost won the state, and a discus guy, So you got some guys.
They got a sprinter that's, was he at Auburn? Where is he? They got
Georgia. Yeah.
And so anyway,
you're right.
And the thing, and if I'm a college coach or a college coach is watching this, they need to come to Murfreesboro.
Oh, that's what I've always said. Yeah.
And I played at MTSU, and no better way to put butts in a seat is to have local kids, and there's a lot here.
And that was the one thing, and we've gotten a lot better, and the coaching's gotten a lot better as far as trying to get the kids in here. And of course, we've gotten better training and everything that's gotten along. But you are correct that sometimes you think, okay, there goes a great set that graduated, and there'll never be another one like it. No, there'll never be another one like it, but here comes another one right through the door, and they're a little bit different, but guess what? They can win a state championship. I mean, if you look at the template of Kevin, every one of his teams have been a little bit different, but they all win state championships, and they all look good. And it's the same cookie-cutter template he's running,
Right.
I mean, in some instances, And,
and that's the thing. We want to continue to develop our kids and get them to where they need to be. Like we got 46 sophomores. We got everybody coming back up front except for one kid. So we've got a lot of pieces to the puzzle that'll be coming back, and we feel good about our middle school and that kind of stuff, and just want people to know that this is just a little tip of the iceberg.
Chapter 1. It's chapter 1.
And just would like them to know that we're going to coach these young men, and we're going to be successful, and we're going to do it the right way. And that's this is just the beginning of the competitiveness that's going to come from Rockville. So we're going to be all right. We're going to be okay.
Well, the one thing you can't control, and you mentioned it to me, you are a Stewart's Creek fan this week because, it just is what it is. And, and if they beat Smyrna, you're in. No matter what happens on this game over here off Blaze Drive.
Right.
If that happens, you're in.
We're in at number 4.
If not, but you can't worry about that. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going in with a game plan to,
We're gonna go try to win the game.
Yeah.
And
they got a good running game. They got two guys. They got Kemp and Nance. They're going to try to run at you, and then they got some receivers. I mean, Brylan Odor, he's special.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got. I mean, Elliott gets him, and he's going to be scanning those eyes if he sees him. So more than likely, RC is going to probably be on him, or somebody like that's going to have to be on Odor, and that'll be a great matchup for them too.
Matchups like that.
Oh yeah, and people need to be watching for that. That's going to be some things going on there. Odor's pretty good, and RC ain't bad himself.
Right.
So there'll be some good athletic kids that know what they're doing on Friday night, getting after it.
Absolutely.
And Melvin Boone's going to try, and Nate Sharon's on that other side. There's a lot of guys and all these kids know each other.
They know each other. That's something that I'm learning as we go. But they know each other, and it's just like, Pardo's going to line up against Nacho, which could be his brother. So
right.
Anyway, those guys are going to line up Friday night. And, just like Javion went over there and the Hamby's over here. And
it is what it is.
It is what it is, So, and even if it wasn't, and we didn't have an opportunity to we're going to go try to win this football game, and we're going to do that for our seniors and our kids here. And so that we're going to go about it this week just like normal and be excited to get ready to play on Thursday. Hope it doesn't rain, but
we're already talking about trying to get the tents out if it does, because we're following you. But that's another thing. It's a quick week. We got a Thursday night, but as Kevin Creasy always said, and the first time I interviewed him, I said, Coach, you're talking about rain on Friday. He said, they'll be raining on their side of the field, be raining on mine, Stark. So we'll both deal with it.
That's right.
We'll both get our raincoats out.
That's
right. What we'll do.
That's
and
right.
A lot of people never looked at it. I never. Kevin was very
you can't
matter of fact
about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, and we're not going to change it, so ain't no need to worry about it.
No, that's exactly right. So
I bought the coaching staff new rain suits, so we'll try them out. We tried them out earlier against Laverne and that little deal, but
oh gosh,
we'll at least we'll be dry a little bit.
I tell you what, kids, gather up Friday night. That's going to be over on Blaze Drive, or Thursday night. Thursday night we're going to get over on Blaze Drive. Kickoff be at 7. I'm going to get that link up here soon.
I was wanting to. Is this going to be the last?
This is it.
Well, as a new guy, I appreciate you. And everybody in football, they know how much you care about it, and we're gonna miss you. And I appreciate the time I've got to spend with you.
Listen, Coach Counce. I mean, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Of course, the Kreisky boys kind of teasing me coming out here to. Is that your big Harley out there?
Yeah.
I knew it was. I said when I first came out here, I said that's his. Nobody drives a hog except that it looks like Counce. That's Counce's hog. And I said, but no, it's been great, and it was just, like I said, I've told Steve many times. I told Dr. Jimmy Sullivan, thanks for you coming. When Luker told me, he said, we got this guy coming from Henry County, and I don't know, Stork. And I said, didn't that guy have it made at Henry County? He said, he did. I said, what the hell's he doing coming here? I said, he just opened up a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's dangerous. You got to think twice. There's a lot of people that they tell me. I had a kid tell me after we got done with the Smyrna game. There's a kid says, how did you get into this store? And I said, that's a long story. You don't want to know that, kid. I mean, but the coaches and some of the relationships and the teasing and understanding that these are kids. And I was a kid once, and I'm a big kid now. That's who I am. I'm a big kid. And I loved high school, and I loved loved the relationships and the friendships. And this is the ground where a kid is going to find out. He may not find out who he or she is, or where they're supposed to be, where they fit in the United States, or job role, or husband and wife role, whatever that case may be, and build a family. But the one thing is, right here is where you got to start somewhere, and high school is such a great place, and the environment that Coach Luker and all you all bring to the kids, it's a special place. Rutherford County is such a special place. There's no question, and it is fun to be here.
Well, we appreciate you and doing this. You didn't have to and don't have to, but you continue to. It means a lot. Appreciate you.
You know what? And that's what I tell people. People said, what makes you go? I said, I don't get paid to do it. I don't get paid to do it, and I care about those kids.
Right.
And and then when you see the ones like Adam Smotherman was my first Mr. Football. He's now, he is now the strength and conditioning coordinator for University of Virginia. And when you see a kid like that that's come from a split family, grow up, have a family, and he slept on my couch and drank 2 gallons of milk every day, but you know what? He went to Vanderbilt, got a degree. He's now got a family and doing his own thing. That's my little part I did, was just a little bit along the way to help him get to where he needed to go.
That's
And
right.
and those are the things that people don't understand, that like you're talking about. You've had many of stories like that. You can sit down and tell parents that, there may be times right now you're looking at a child and say, if you'll stick with it, I know we didn't have that much time, but if you'll go on and do the right thing, you'll come back to me in 5-6 years. You turn some kids' heads around, and, that's all, that's what God gave you. He gave you the strength and the idea and said, James, this is what I want you to do. And that's what you said, that's what you've been doing,
Yeah. And it's a little bit more. Nowadays, it's like, be patient. Let's pump the brakes here just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay,
And that's even in us wanting to quit. Even in us wanting to quit the results.
You still gotta work through the process here.
God.
And so some of it to where, everybody wants things instantly. We still gotta take care of the process. And, now I think that's what's so great about this game and how close to life situations that it can get you. And then hoping that if we do the things right like that throughout all that, once they do those things enough, it becomes habit. Then when they get a job and they get a family and they got other people depending on them, they've got some of these traits that have become habits in the way that they operate. And if we do those kind of things right in the locker room, the winning takes care of itself, just like hopefully they'll carry that with them and they'll take care of their families and whoever. But anyway, just a small part.
Well, and you got to remember a lot of things when you start. If you come into a situation where you want to take it a different direction or you want to do something, regardless of wherever a program or school or football team, baseball team, basketball team, wherever it is or wherever it was when you roll in or whatever, you've got to start off going slow because, like you said, it took a little bit for you to get your philosophy and your maximums and what I want out of you and what starts the process of becoming a young football player. And that philosophy, it just takes a little while because they've been drinking. We didn't get here in 10 seconds overnight.
That's right. They've been doing these other things. Some of them been in this program for 3 years. Some of them were seniors, been in this program for 4 years. And then you had those others that. So they had to adjust their operation in the way that they were doing things. And then on top of that, had to trust me, So anyway, that's a small piece.
Coach Counce, I can't thank you enough. Kids, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, we're all going to be over at the Inferno. So why don't you just come on out and join us, and we'll see you right there at the game.